to another episode of Boosted Rolls, a War Machine and Hearts podcast focused on EU meta, tournaments and tactics. My name is Tomasz and I play Circle and Infernals.
Hi guys, good to be back. I'm Simon and I stream live on Twitch at twitch.tv/HonestSci. I know some of you have joined me, so very kind, and look forward to seeing you more of you there. Today we have a very special guest.
Hi, my name is Pawel, I'm playing Scorn.
Broken. The first time that we tried to record that, Tomasz caught me off guard because he said, "Hi, I'm Tomasz and I play Circle." So then I jumped in and he's like, "And Infernals." I'm like, "Motherfucker, don't spring that on me out of nowhere."
I decided to go pay to win route and I wanted to see your reaction.
The Mark route, as it's otherwise known.
You know, I kind of blame Mark for it. Like, until we were recording episode with Mark, I didn't care about Infernals. I just had the general understanding of the faction, just in case they are a threat in the WTC, but they didn't have their full releases yet, so they didn't feel strong enough for people to take them to WTC. Like, there was one player. So with so many things in the meta currently, with so many things changing, with Archon's releases, there's enough things I need to care about in the game that I just can't dedicate my mental power and energy towards things that are not in the meta currently. They are future threat. So then, out of nowhere, Mark wins UK Masters with them. So I was like, it's probably about the time to learn them, not to get surprised on the table when I see them in a tournament. So I started reading their rules carefully. I started picking up some details and started asking Mark some questions about the internal synergies. And at first, I just wanted to learn the faction to understand how to fight against them. But in the process, I just got inspired and decided to buy them.
Oh, God. Right. Anything inspired by Mark is probably a bad idea, let's be honest. Unless it's a retribution build, in which case I found them to be pretty good. Alrighty. So Pawel is here with us because he recently won the EU Masters at BoostedCon, so congratulations.
Thank you.
But before we go into the EU Masters itself, we will just talk a little bit about BoostedCon as a con. So you guys were both there, so I'll do the questions for this bit. In fact, I'll do the questions for most of it. Let's be honest. So where was the tournament held, and when was it? Was it last weekend?
Yeah, it was last weekend. It was in Zabrze, which is in Silesia part of Poland, in the south. It was held in Hotel Diamond, and I must say the venue was incredible. Like, for those of you that remember ClockCon, it was something very close to it. Like, you would have a nice venue with a great light, great acoustics, great ventilation, lots of room. Bar was very close nearby, so you could like grab a beer between rounds or even pause the clock to grab a beer. It's like 5 seconds and you go again. Also, there would be a big screen, like one wall was dedicated just for the screen with all the informations you needed, the master clock for the rounds and pairings and stuff like that. Szymon, who was the main organizer, would have a microphone with a good sound system to announce everything that was necessary. So really great experience. And also rooms in the hotel weren't maybe as high standard as in ClockCon, but they were quite high. And the thing I like the most is, like, when you go to a tournament, you don't really spend time in the room, right? You just sleep there and you spend time in the gaming room. But the room was so big that actually I could not hear and smell the other nerd I was in a room with. Right?
It was most important.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out just how Polish you are, that you were like, oh, yeah, you can grab a beer and then 5 seconds you can be back for another one. 5 seconds? Fucking hell, man. Like, Jesus. Yeah, right. Moving on. So, Pawel, anything to add about the venue or anything that you sort of picked up on that maybe Tomasz didn't appreciate as much, or what were your thoughts on the hotel?
I think most of things Tomek said, but me and guys from my team was in the second part of this hotel with, I can say, more stars. So these rooms where we was, it's very, very high standard, I can say. All was very good. We have apartment with 2 rooms, two bathrooms, and so I can say anything bad about hotel.
Jesus, that's like luxury.
Yeah, it's some kind.
By tournament standards, that's absolute luxury. Excellent, perfect.
Yeah, about the hotel, I totally forgot that I was in the budget part of the hotel, so I imagine the premium one was really, really, really nice. It just makes no sense for me to book those, and I imagine for most people it's the same.
Well, I mean, when you go into a tournament, the only thing you do in the actual room is collapse, right?
Yeah.
Like, end of the night, you're like, right, I just need to build one more list. Like,
Almost here.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, you just, like, when you're playing Scorn, you get to the bit where you put the 2 turtles in and the Supreme Guardian, and then you hit the pillow.
No, I disagree, because I'm not using turtles from, I don't know, half of year or something like that.
Oh, it's just the Supremes, sorry. You see how far I am out of the meta? Right, you put the 2 Supremes in.
Only one.
Just one, you don't even need 2 to win anymore.
Yeah, now you need to feed the Void Archons.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, God in heaven. I don't even want to know. Well, I do want to know about the Archons, but I also don't. Anyway, we'll stick with the con for now, and then we'll move on to the Archons later. So how about the tournaments themselves? So if I understand correctly, and if they borrowed the same sort of format that was used at the EU Masters when it was held in Brno, there should have been a last chance qualifier, an EU Masters, and I think there was added a team tournament this time?
Yeah, correct.
So 3 tournaments in 3 days or 2 days?
It was 3 days, but with a bit different approach than most 3 days tournament out there. So usually when you have round 1 on Friday, it's early in the morning, like 8 or 9 a.m. So if you want to play in the tournament, you actually need to travel on Thursday to get to the venue. Unless you're local, of course. So this time, the tournament started at 1:30, so it would give enough time for people to travel on Friday for the tournament. So, as I said, the first tournament on Friday is LCQ, and it starts at 1:30, and we would have 4 rounds unless there's enough people undefeated that can qualify for EU Masters after 3 rounds. Then Saturday, it's a team tournament, 4 rounds starting early in the morning. And in the evening, we would have round 1 of EU Masters. And parallel to that, we would have round 1 of Shark Tank tournament. And the idea was to make a tournament for people that did well in the LCQ, but didn't qualify for EU Masters. So then on Sunday, you would have only 2 rounds, which is semifinals and finals for EU Masters and semifinals and finals for Shark Tank tournament.
Okay. And 2 questions regarding the Shark Tank. So first of all, was the Shark Tank designed in the way that we discussed in the previous episode, where we discussed how I did a Shark Tank tournament and what we thought might have been wrong about that and how to improve it, and then we sort of came up with a model of what we thought would be better? Was that pretty much that model that we came up with? Is that the one that was used at BoostedCon?
It was exactly that. Thanks for the idea, by the way. It was exactly that.
No, well, I mean, you came up with it with me. Like we did it here live.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that was that. Well, we'll come on to later whether that was successful or not.
Right.
And then my second question is, what was everybody else doing? So you've got your EU Masters. You've got your Shark Tank 8 from the rankings, but what is everyone else doing on the Sunday? Was the steamrollers being organized, or was it sort of left to the players? Or
so there was nothing formally organized, but Shimon announced that he will do some side events depending on the people's will and the frequency. And also you could join a demo for a Judgment or Riot Quest, and I saw some players playing Marvel Crisis Protocol, so there was something to do.
All right. So we've talked about all the positives, which was that the venue was amazing. You've put together what sounds like a good solid schedule, taking a lot of use of the time, but as you say, aiming for a more relaxed atmosphere. Although 5 rounds on a Saturday isn't necessarily totally relaxed, but it does make it's relaxed in the sense that no one has to panic completely about their travel. So I think that was well thought out. We used the Shark Tank thing that we discussed in the previous one, so that's cool. And how about prize support?
So the biggest prize there was a widget tray from QualiGeeks for the first and second place in the EU Masters. First place would receive a tray with golden widgets, and the second place would receive a tray with silver widgets. Then everyone that qualified for EU Masters would receive a box from Privateer Press. Nothing special, just some old metal sculpts. But the first place received a nice Extreme Gladiator. And there were some swag bags given, like some mugs and widgets. And that's all, I think.
Okay, so in terms of like shout outs to sponsors, we need to be shouting out Quali Geeks for supporting, and also who were providing the miniatures.
It was from Privateer Press. They also provided some medals I forgot about.
Okay, cool. Well, it's nice to see that they are supporting EU tournaments a little bit as well. So that's some positives. Any more positives that anyone wants to discuss before we move over to the negatives? We all good? Marvellous. So we had a little chat about it before the stream. And sorry, not the stream. I've been on Twitch too much before the podcast. And we, what came up was that this schedule that was put together didn't sort of play out the way that it was supposed to, and that ended up with some negative effects. So just to give you a chance to chat about it, how did that work out? How did that end up?
So on Friday we started a bit late. Like there were a lot of people that came late. I was among them. But I think it was still all right. But after the first round, there was like 2 hours break for no good reason. Like it wasn't a lunch break, or if it was a lunch break, it wasn't announced as the lunch break. So no one really knew when the second round started. So we were still in the room waiting for it to start. Some people grabbed a beer, started, chatting and lost sense of time. And after hour and a half, I realized, hey, it's a tournament. Where's the second round? So that resulted in us just finishing quite late in the day.
Like what sort of time did you finish?
It's hard to say without keeping track of time, and I didn't, but it was late.
Pawel, do you remember?
I think it was about 9-10 o'clock.
9-10, starting at 1 or 3 or something like that?
No, it was 9, maybe around 10 o'clock. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't remember really because, like Tomek said, I'm really not watching on my watch and checking the hour. We just, playing good atmosphere, good guys, and we just playing, drinking.
Okay. So it got a bit too casual maybe.
Yeah, it was a bit too casual, but I must say I quite enjoyed the schedule. Like it was very slow and relaxed, so we could slowly get into this tournament mode and chat between rounds with people we didn't see for a long time. And because a lot of players that were qualified for EU Masters didn't come, there would be a lot more spots to fill in that Szymon originally planned for. So we could finish after 3 rounds. So the fact that they extended over this long was actually all right. And yeah, the problem was actually something else. The problem was that the Friday schedule and this relaxed approach transferred into Saturday when we were supposed to play 5 rounds, and if we want to do it, we need to keep the track of time, right?
And how many organizers were there? Were you one of the... I mean, I realized that you helped plan the schedule, but were you an actual organizer or were you just a player?
No, I was just a player.
Okay.
So on Saturday, we were supposed to play 4 rounds team tournament, and like most of the players there, we were the most excited about the team tournament. So somewhere between second and third round, we got the information that it's actually supposed to be 3 rounds team tournament, and the winner will be decided on strength of schedule. So we came in with the group to actually make it 4 rounds, but I don't want to go too long on it. There was some confusion. Szymon was positive it was supposed to be 3 rounds and he will make it 3 rounds. We would finish the third round very late, so it was almost impossible to play 4th round and the round 1 of EU Masters. And later, when it was actually too late, we realized, we checked the official schedule and it was supposed to be 4 rounds. So not only the ending of the tournament was quite disappointing because it was decided of strength of schedule with 2 undefeated teams. There was no prize ceremony, there was no announcement, really nothing. It felt like it never really ended, like unfinished business. And to continue, the Shark Tank tournament we spoke earlier about that was supposed to happen parallel to EU Masters never happened.
Never happened?
Yeah, so there was no tournament and there were a lot of players that didn't know what to do if they...
Why did that not happen? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Like when it was supposed to start, I was playing EU Masters round 1, so I didn't know. But yeah, so a lot of players didn't know if there's going to be a tournament or not, if they should start some pickup games or not. There was really no information about it. And the next day they felt a bit disappointed that there is nothing for them to do except watching the EU Masters finals, or playing pickup games.
I heard a rumor that one game was actually allowed to be played off clock and took something like 4 to 6 hours.
Oh,
is that true?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. The players would play. A lot of players would be around the table commenting, and the players were interacting with them, and it would suck a lot of their time. So they decided to play off clock. And
oh God, it's like my nightmare.
Yeah, and it was like very late. So it started to be that late that players wanted to start socializing. So alcohol would be involved. They would play, drink. So it's actually extended to something like 6 hours. I don't know. Like it was.
Oh God!
It was forever. It was like players would come to the table and say like, "This is the same game. Like it's still going." Like, unbelievable.
Yeah, the Spanish guys.
I'm getting Villa flashbacks. When everyone would just come and fuck with me while I was trying to play a game. Oh no. Okay. So in other words, if we talk about negatives for the event, and again, we sort of want to focus on the fact that a lot of the things were very, very positive and there's a lot to work with, but the negative that needs to be learned from is that the schedule needs to be kept, or at least attempted to be kept.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So to sum it up, I think all in all, it was a great event. If you are a casual player, you wanted to play some games, you wanted to meet some people, maybe new people or some old friends, drink a good cheap beer, see Poland, and just in general, if you wanted to have fun, it was fantastic. But if you treat the game a bit more like a sport and you care about both competitive side of it and the social side of it, you would probably be a bit disappointed. But Szymon acknowledges that, and he said if he's going to make another edition next year, he will fix those issues. And I really hope he will, because I feel kind of connected to this convention. Like we advertised it, so
yeah. I should have turned up and shouted at people, round one.
Yeah, I took it really personal. I felt like connected with the organization of it, so I felt like a bit of a guilt for it not being as ideal as it probably should be. So
yeah, when you push people to join something and then the result isn't as good as you would like it's a sad feeling. Like when anything ever goes wrong on my stream, I just feel like unbelievable shame. Like, oh God, oh no, this is my name on this. And while it wasn't our name, well, it kind of was our name on the con. You do sort of feel a bit of responsibility. But Pawel, we haven't heard much from you about the negative side of it. So obviously Tomasz had his experience and you had yours. So how did you feel?
So after this, when I'm thinking from from some perspective, yeah, I agree with Tomek that schedule should be kept. But overall, very good atmosphere, very amazing people. Like Tomek said, if you want spend very good weekend with your hobby, what you like, it's very good opportunity.
Cool.
So of course, it can be for casual or more competitive, because I think that the level of some of players in Poland is quite enough to even competitive player have good experience and good games. So
I would say so. Yeah, you guys are pretty reasonable. Not bad, it could be said.
Not bad.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, cool. So we've covered the positives and negatives of the event, and so let's get into the actual meat of it. Last chance qualifier. First of all, did you, Tomasz, which faction, you mentioned that you play Circle and occasionally Infernals, did you take both to the event?
Yeah.
I mean, knowing you probably took about 18 different Warcasters. What did you actually take, and what did you play in the LCQ?
So indeed, I took Infernals and Circle. Circle just in case, and Infernals because I wanted to play them. But I had only 2 practice games before this tournament, so only 2 games ever with Infernals.
Okay.
And I didn't feel comfortable with them. I still played a lot of rules wrong, so I wanted to use the opportunity that I'm already qualified for EU Masters to play Infernals in the LCQ and learn them.
Sure.
So I took what I have, because as you know, there are some issues with distribution in Europe. Mm-hmm. So I just took every model I have available for Infernals. And for the Masters, it would be Agathon and Zatarov.
Okay. And Pawel, did you end up playing Scorn for all the events?
Yeah. I couple days before I sell my circle, even in Friday when I go to tournament, I just take package of circle to I can say my customers. So I have only Scorn for now.
Okay.
So I take only Scorn and I have Zal 2 and Xerxes 2. But after tournament, I was thinking that I take too much model because I can leave Xerxes 2 in home. Unfortunately.
Right, you one listed Zal for all 3 events?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, pretty typical Scorn. I'm not that surprised, but it's a bit sad to hear that it's still true after the sort of new model releases, Infernals coming out, Archons, some changes to a few things, and yet, we're still in the sort of Zal 2 is strong sort of meta, but there we go. So let's jump into the LCQ then and see how that goes. So how many players played in the LCQ?
I think it was 28 or 26.
All right, 26, 28, something like that. Cool. And how many of those had already qualified?
3.
Okay. So there were definitely some people playing for their spots. Cool. And how do we want to do? Are we doing battle reports for the LCQ, or are we focusing on the team and EU Masters?
I'm happy to do them. For me, it will be very quick. So
all right. Well, let's jump in then. So LCQ round 1. First of all, how was it done in terms of? Fuck the LCQ for a second. How were the tables? How was the terrain? Like you guys, it's your sort of local meta, so I presume you're used to it. But was there a different terrain set used, or was it sparse or WTC covered in terrain, or how was it?
In my opinion, it was very, very close to WTC because there was some obstructions and there was lost blocker on the middle of the table and so on. So it was quite close to WTC, in my opinion.
Okay. Tomasz?
Well, so I would say the placement of the terrain mattered for the game. So on some tables, it was very impactful. On the others, it wasn't at all. So in the team tournament, when you had to pick the table you want, the choice was very important. But the terrain itself wasn't as big as in WTC. I would say it was much smaller. The sets were from Playmat EU. You might know them.
I bought my set from them, yeah, so I know them well.
Yeah, so they are not as big as WTC terrain.
Nope. You need to double them up to even get close.
Yeah. So there were some tables that felt very open, but also there were some tables that felt like very dense. And usually those tables would be the tables with buildings, because the buildings were the big pieces available there. Okay, cool. And other thing that I wanted to ask about, and I totally forgot, so kind of LCQ, but what was the faction spread? So I've been out of the game a little bit. Was the faction spread different than what we saw, or is it just Zal 2, Grimkin, Circle, and Gareth 2? You almost nailed it.
And Harby, sorry.
Yeah, it's Harby, Grimkins, and Infernals. Like, nothing else was in numbers. Like, I think there were like 2 retributions, 2 conversions, probably 2 circles.
Oh, were they playing the new convergence stuff?
No, new convergence isn't released yet, but
there was some Kador, maybe 2 even. For sure there was 2 Kadors.
And when we say Kador, do we mean like Kador Warcasters with a bunch of Menoth?
No, Doom Reavers.
Okay. I thought Kador now. Oh yeah, Kador are just Doomy spam, aren't they? Yeah. Okay.
No, I think I saw the Zerkova list with not that many Kador models there, so there were some of those new mixed up themes too.
Okay.
So in general, you'd have 1 or 2 of every faction. I think that actually every faction was represented, but the only factions in numbers, so those that would cut your attention, would be Infernals, Harbinger, and Grimkins.
All right, cool. So, back onto the LCQ then. Let's get to it. Round 1, who did you get and how did you kill them with Agathon?
So round 1, I get Francesco's up.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
And Francesco came to Poland on Thursday, so we would actually have a game Thursday evening. It was Zaferot versus Wormwood. So the next day we meet in round 1 of LCQ. We approached the game a bit more casually because players that play against me would get automatic win because I was already qualified. So we talked it through what matchup do we want to play? And we figured that we want to play something that we haven't played the day before. So it was Agathon versus Kruger 2. So I want the role to go first. I decided to go first.
Sure.
And I must say, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, it was really hard to figure out how to stay in a zone, top of 2, not get pushed out and not die.
It's kind of hard for most people, but yeah, okay, sure. Especially if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah.
So I basically moved up and just hoped that he will forget about Umbral. And then he could go for 5-0 just with fit and with killing objective and like 1 forebodder or something like this. But Francesco didn't believe in his ability to remove my objective without using range attacks to trigger Umbral. So he didn't go for 5-0. He went for 3-0, and he actually triggered Umbral anyway in the middle of the turn. So in return, scenario future looked really bad, so I decided to kill Kruger through 5 camp, and I killed Kruger through 5 camp, but I used my feet wrong, so I probably shouldn't kill him.
So my little joke was in fact spot on.
Yeah, it was spot on.
I swear we didn't discuss that before, I just assumed. All right, so who did you Zal in round 1, and how upset were they?
First I play against Sainti from Spain. He play Retribution, and he choose Ocean against me. Of course, I choose Zal, and we play, if I could remember, in first round spread the net. So the idea was to keep the field, stop scoring, and so on. And honestly, first game I lost because of big mistake of basic rules, I can say, because I need to kill one jack to score the point. He was almost creeped. He left couple boxes, and I charged him with many models. For example, Abidan, I only double once. I save him and I roll double once. So I charge with my Arc Knot. I do some damage, and this is for next step was this big mistake, because I was thinking that if I engaging somebody with Arc Knot, I cannot cast spells, but he doesn't engage me. So I move with Zal to see him and kill him, score 2 points, if I could remember. In total, I was 4-0, so it was almost winning, but next turn I get a caster kill. Of course, if I will not fuck up this basic rule, then I will move with Zal for the safe play that he cannot do nothing for me, just nothing. And I think in next round I will win just by scenario. So this is first round I lost with Santi.
Okay. And to be honest, obviously I've not played for a little bit, but I think I would have forgotten that as well and probably played it the same that you did. So, don't feel too bad. So but hang on a second. So I think one of you said it was King of the Hill. One of you said it was Spread the Net.
Maybe King of the Hill. Yeah. It was King of the Hill with the flag in the middle of circle zone. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Cool. So we got that nailed down. So then moving into LCQ, round 2. How was your game, Tomasz?
My round 1 was pretty fun, so I decided to play Agathon for the entire LCQ.
How kind of you.
Right. So round 2, I get Krios 2. It's Max from Italy. And he said that he played Harbinger versus Azeroth and he didn't like that matchup, so he went to try Krios 2. And I think I wouldn't drop Azeroth anyway, because Krios 2's fit is just like a perfect counter to Azeroth's fit.
Yeah, not great.
So we play Anarchy. I think he went first, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, we would play this game where I keep him at length, I'm bricked up in the middle, I build up my heavies, and I slow him down by hellmouthing his units, killing some bastions, and trying to kill incinerators. But at some point, he just arrives there and he kills my army. I think everything evaporated, very quickly. But the game changed the geometry, so I would take the right zone and he would take kind of the left zone. But because he was so focused to kill my models in the middle, he never really put the entire unit in any of the circular zones. And because he was afraid of assassination, he never put Krios there. So when he realized that I'm up on CPs and we are going to 7, it was probably too late. So in my zone, there would be Agathon, and between Hellmouth, between Dark Seduction and Dark Banishment, he was able to remove everything from my zone and score it.
Remind me what Dark Banishment does, please.
When you hit a model with Agathon's melee, you can place the model completely within the 6+3.
Oh, it's that thing, right, where he like shivs them and then just tells them to fuck off.
Yeah, the same thing that Danny 2 has. So Agathon would charge and send like the 2 guys to the middle of nowhere, spawn a heavy, and the heavy would move to contest, sorry. So that was basically the game. Like, I lost attrition completely, but I was able to just win with advantage of 1 CP on 7th round.
And do you think that's how that matchup should go in general, if both players play reasonably well?
Well, it's hard to say. I have some tools versus him. He has some tools versus me. It was my 4th game with Infernals, so I definitely played them suboptimally.
Well, I mean, you played Agathon and his caster didn't die, so yes, you played it suboptimally.
That's actually a very good point. But to my defense, he has Castigate, so it's kind of good counter not to die. Anyway, without full releases, it's really hard to comment. I think like Regna is big for Infernals, and just understanding the mechanics of Infernals is also important to play it well on the table. So really, I would need to play it again, and then I could comment on how this matchup goes.
Fair enough. All right, and how was Zal versus X in round 2?
Yeah, I shouldn't tell you that I'm playing whole tournament with...
No, because I'm just going to give you a shit for it the whole episode now.
I was playing second round. I was playing against Andrea from Italy, and maybe Tomek will help me because I really don't... I'm looking in my mind, but really don't remember what he playing. I think it was Grim King. Tomek, do you remember? Maybe
he was playing Grimkins, and it was Old Witch with 5 Clockatrice in Bump and Child. Okay, so I'm playing against Andrea. It was a very, very nice game and very nice opponent, but I'm playing against Grim King a lot, and honestly, I lost. When I'm using Zal, I can say correctly, Zal 2, I lose only 1 game against Grim King, and it was against Hasher, so Tomek. Yeah. On WTC, before WTC, when we just have free games, I can say. So
sure.
So this game, I know very well how to play against Grimkins. I know how to play against some arcanas like Sacrifice, like this arcana would makes me living model and so on. So this game, in my opinion, from beginning to the end was under my control. Additional, thanks to Void Archons, I can my opponent shouldn't take something like Sacrifice because just it will be just not working. So I won this game. I really don't remember against what Warlock I was playing. Really, so sorry, guys.
Clockatrice.
It was Clockatrice. So I was playing against Clockatrice, but thanks to my basic rule that 98% of my model is construct, so this Clockatrice doesn't help me so much.
So I realised that we've done it again. We've totally forgotten to actually describe the lists. So, given that you only played 1 list, let's talk in a bit more detail about your list, because you mentioned Void Archons, and they are sort of beyond my time. So, what was your Zal 2 list? How has the Void Archon changed how it works? And tell me a little bit about why you made those changes.
Yeah, so first of all, I was playing with Zal with Hydra, and Hydra was only my War Beast, so I was playing with 1 but big War Beast. Mm-hmm. I have 2 full units of Immortals, of course, with UA. I have 1 Immortal Vessel, Exoler Novitate, one guy. I have Abidan, 1 Ancestral Guardian, Hakar, and 2 Void Archons.
And a Supreme Guardian?
And 1 Supreme Guardians, of course. It was, it's you start to list with him, so you're not thinking about Warlock. You just take him, and next choice is Warlock. Yeah, and of course one Supreme Guardian.
Wait, so Warlock is even a choice? Like,
he's got a point, actually.
Of course, Zal 2 is a Warlock who give a lot of a nice thing for Immortals. But when I was thinking about many different warlocks maybe not many, but some different warlocks in Scourge, most of them they will really work with Immortals. Mm-hmm. So, but now I'm using Zal 2.
It's just a coincidence that everyone is playing Zal 2.
Yeah.
It's coincidence. Don't look at this.
And so tell me about the Void Archons. Why are they so good in this list, and why did you put them in? And what did you give up to put them in?
First of all, what I take from my list one Cyclops Shaman, and this is for sure. And I think I take Agonizer and one of
Novitiate?
One of Arcanauts.
Okay.
So this is what I take from my list and put to Archons. What they get, first of all, they have no healings 5 inches. So this is something what when I'm playing against Heartbeat was always piece of me, because doesn't matter that I'm hitting. It's important how many what my opponent roll on the dice when using Martyrdom. Now Martyrdom, I can say, doesn't exist, or I can say it. I will decide is Martyrdom exists or not. First of all, next they are very mobile model, because they can move, shoot, teleport. They can charge, teleport, shoot. They have many options. So this is very, very positive. And of course, the whole army based on soul manipulation, and they're using soul. So this is additional good value of those models.
Yeah, the thing is that those Archons are not only very good and very mobile and have a lot of rules, but they also fix the the only real issue that Zal 2 had. So
which was Martyrdom, yeah.
Yeah, which was Martyrdom and armor cracking. Like, you had a lot of power 13s. Your infantry just can't get... Like, you have those guys that give you +2 strength, but it's just for one model, so usually give it to Supreme Guardian. So the armor cracking actually for Zal 2 was a problem. Now it isn't with Dark Shroud, right?
Yes. And you can put this Dark Shroud almost everywhere you want.
Can you name a single bad matchup for Zal 2?
Another Zal 2.
Good answer. Very good answer. Moving on. So we now get to LCQ round 3, which I believe was also played on Friday, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So Infernals versus...
I was playing Pawel's opponent from round 2, so Grimkins, and he played Old Witch with 5 Clockatries.
What did he drop to get the 5th clock in? Like the standard list that I would knew, the good old list was with 4 clocks. So what has he not got? Has he only got one monkey thing? Has he got what's he lost?
Well, good question. There were 2 max units of Nayslayers with 2 UAs. There were 2 Maladimens.
Grave Ghoul?
No, there was no Grave Ghoul, I think.
Well, then he's a fucking lunatic. Well, he is, isn't he?
Well, it's a good model. And there were no Tropokins and no Longfellow, I think.
Well, I mean, those are optional. The Grave Ghoul is not.
I mean, you want to have some solos to score flags, right?
Well, that's marvelous, but you definitely want the Grave Ghoul.
Yeah.
Let's not fuck around. It's
in my opinion, I would play 2 Grave Ghouls. I think this model.
No, there are lists with 2 Grave Ghouls in.
In Wanderer, yeah, I know them. I hate them.
All right, so played against Andrea, and how did that go?
So I chose Agathon. Andrea is playing Old Witch. We are playing on Spread the Net, and he wins the roll to go first, and he takes it. There's a building in the middle of the table. So he runs all his Clockatries up. He moves his cavalry and knocks them down, so I cannot harm of them. And basically I realize I'm fucked. He can just, next turn, he can just assault with all the Clockatries into my army, maybe kill some support in the back, maybe some Mark Souls, paralyze all my heavies. I have only 3 of them, and bottom of 1, so not a lot. And I cannot really retaliate. There's only Hellmouth and TK from the gate that will extend my threat range, but 1 stutter and it's over. So I just positioned my whole support outside of the assault range, and I would leave maybe some cultists to trigger revelations. And I was just hoping that he will get caught by some counter charge or some of my tricks. So how the game went was, early in the game, Andrea did a very good job to avoid all my gotchas, and he will be constantly up on scenario, and I would constantly just fight not to lose on scenario. Like he would be like 4 points up after his turn every time. But because he did a so good job to avoid my gotchas early, it would also take a lot of his clock. So later in the game, he would be very low on clock, and he would get more and more gotchas from me, more counter charges, more revelation tricks. And this way I was able to kind of avoid the scenario loss. And in the very late game, when he was very low on clock, I was able to use that to do some actual attrition and to score some points to retaliate. And eventually I won on clock, but it could be also 7th turn CP scenario.
Right, sort of pressuring him with the time. Cool. All right. So Agathon's tricks, not just cast a kill, but also sort of clock eaters and takes a while to get used to. Did he say whether he'd played against Infernals much?
Yeah, he did, but I think he said not against Agathon specifically.
Ooh, that's not great, is it? All right. And then, so third LCQ game for Zal. What did you face and how did it go?
I play against Kuba, and he chose my favorite Harbury. Yeah, we have luck to meet each other on the many Polish tournaments. So we play our favorite matchup, Harbury against Zal 2. And of course, this game was when Kuba doesn't use even once martyrdom because these voids. So the game was very close. The game was very tight, and of course I was moving very very careful. He was moving very careful. We was keeping to be out of our ranges, etc. etc. And the one of crucial turns was when my hacker and something more, I doesn't remember what, doesn't kill his warjack. I leave him on hand for sure and cortex, so he can kill my models. Mm-hmm. And there was very close Desert Hydra, so he moved, he killed her with 2 jacks. And I started losing on attrition because if I will kill like it should be this warjack, and then he don't have any real opportunity to kill my Desert Hydra, then I will strike back and so on. But after that, I was started losing on attrition, and Kuba make some mistake because he killed something with Harbury. I don't remember what was it, but he killed it and move and he go out of my loss. And he was, of course, I don't see him because there was some obstruction building or something. And he moved one of mechanics to contest my flag or zone. And I have only opportunity to in this game for this at that moment I have only chance to kill his caster. And of course Zal like to kill caster, so I ran with my Arknot. I put Thunder Spirit on him. I hit with 1, so make some damage. With 2nd I missed. There wasn't too much to hit because I need 8 on 3 dice because all was boosted but I missed. And next move was with my Void Archon. I charge this mechanic. I kill him with melee attack. I teleport myself 1 inch from her. And then, I hit with punch, I hit with spray, and I just kill him with Void Archon. And This is how I win this game with Harbingen.
Okay. So Void Archon's doing some work.
Yeah.
He's kind of Lord of the Feisty.
Yeah, that does sound a bit feisty, doesn't it? That's.
But he can't buy attacks, so unfortunately.
What a shame.
But maybe they will change him.
Yeah, but he has 2 sprays, so it's okay.
1 spray.
1 spray. Oh.
Yeah, 1 spray to melee attack.
Okay, so bad model.
Two sprays
so
will be
bad
okay.
bottle.
2 hands to spray, it's okay.
Okay. Fine, cool. So that's Friday done, I think. Or did you play a 4th round on Friday? I've already forgotten. I know I already asked.
No, it's the end of day 1.
End of day 1. Woo! We're only an hour into the episode. We've finished day 1. Bravo. Let's move on to day 2. So we start off with the last round of the LCQ. Is that right?
No.
Oh, you called the LCQ because you had the 5 slots. Yeah. My horrible memory. So we move into day 2, and that is the team tournament, right?
Correct.
Marvelous. So you said there were 10 teams?
Yes, 10 teams.
Cool. All right. And it was which type of team tournament rules? Was it Challenger or Dodger?
It's the Dodger. Yeah.
Dodger, yeah.
Okay. So you can put out a Dodge. Cool. All right. Well, I guess we just get into it. So you were both on separate teams, as I understand it. So who were your teammates?
So my teammates was Kuba and Tomek Tutaj. So our name was WTC Carry, and I would play with 2 world champions, right?
Excellent. All right. And Pawel?
Yeah, I was playing like always with Konrad and with Karol Arhain, and we was BBF. Our name was before it was Blood, Brother and Pharaohs. This is why BBF. But after first tournament we changed, and now is Bukake Blowjob Fuck. So you know.
Good lads. Keeping it PG for the kids. That's all right. All right. So we move into the team tournament and we get to round 1. I can presume you probably didn't meet since you both ended up pretty well off. So Pawel, how was your round 1 and who did you face?
We play against guys from Poland. They call, if I good, Trollkini or something like this, because they have two armies with trolls.
Jesus, brave lads. Right,
yeah,
okay.
So, you know, in this very nice guys, we really love them, and we play for some singles tournament with them, and they have 2 Trollkins and 1 Grimkins. So in this meta, of course, Trollkins doesn't big, you know, challenge for, I don't know, experienced players and some lists and so on. So we play Karol with his Grimkins play against Trolls. Konrad with Kriegs plays against Trolls, and I get Grimkins. So like I said before with this matchup with Andrea, this game wasn't different because my opponent, if I could remember, to choose go first. I think so. I moved further. Of course, he was running. I moved forward and he moved outside of my range. I pop up feet and move, of course, closer. And he ran to my start. I don't remember beating me or something like this. But after this turn, when he ran very aggressive in my army, I just killed everything. Almost maybe one beast was left on this table. So he, of course, playing to the end to, you know, get some points or something like this. But after this, I kill rest and win on scenario.
Fair enough. Cool. So Tomasz, we'll come back to you. How was your first round of the team tournament?
So before the tournament started, I've asked guys if I can play Infernals, which is implying if I can lose all my games. And they've agreed. So I decided to play Zatharov exclusively this day to learn Zatharov. And we got Spanish team of guys that I met at Barcelona Masters. So I would know most of them and I really like to play against them. Personally, I got Iona in Devourer's Host.
Okay. I wonder if you recognize that one.
I've heard something about her.
What does she do? What's her rules?
On the 5th turn, everything dies. That's her rules, basically.
Yeah.
I was a bit scared, but I've heard that Zatharov can handle Iona well.
Really? From who?
Internet wisdom from chats online.
Okay. The usual circle chat, yeah? All right, go on.
So I think I went second, and I was trying to understand and get to know my tools better during this game. My ranges are very long because of TK from the Gate and the Rites of Torment. And because of those, Mark, my opponent, was kind of cagey. So he kept his army outside of my ranges, except Wolf Riders that he used to jam me. So in return, I've killed those Wolf Riders, tried to stay outside of Ravagers, or as many as I could. And I fit. I score 3 points and he scores 1 because I didn't know how to contest opponent zones with Infernals. It seemed kind of hard to me. I didn't have models that I just wanted to throw away.
Okay.
So in return, Iona fits. Mark did a very good job of jamming my Tormentors, so another Tormentor wouldn't charge the model that went to jam the first Tormentor. Then he killed some models. I don't think that was a lot, very little. But he moved very, very aggressively, ran Gatorix almost to my zone and just clamped me up with Ravagers. And in my turn, I was able to kill a lot of models, but I wasn't able to push far enough to contest. And I didn't have spare models, so I needed to sacrifice a point on flag or point in the zone. So I decided to contest his zone with one of my heavies. And in the process, I decided to charge Ravager first and Rites of Torment into the zone. But I forgot that I Rites of Torment this heavy already, and that costed me a game on scenario.
Okay. So just, some learning to be done there, but still. And I presume your opponents did a little better. Your teammates.
Yeah, they won their games, so.
Perfect. So team carry working as intended. And how about your round 2 then in the team tournament, Pawel?
We're playing against, they call Harvey and Friends. So
okay.
One of the guys, they using Harvey, of course. And there was Daniel in this team, Daniel Just Dan, Mariel Sebi, and Daniel Mayer. Yep. Sebi and Bernhard Alpha. And there was, of course, there was Harvey, there was Convergence of Cyrus, and there was Infernals. And Infernals, there was Zaterot and Karasloan. So Signar Infernals. And Conrad with Kriegs plays against Harvey. Carol plays against Convergence, and I was playing against this Karasloan, I can say.
Okay.
So I don't remember what kind of matchup there was on the other table, but for sure that Conrad played with his Gorshay tree with spam of mechanic trials. And this is for sure. Of course, I was using you know who.
Yeah.
So the game, one of them, he started the game, so it was quite important for him because he gave me big pressure with this, long treat range of this, his shooting and so on. Of course, I have Hydra in my list, so her Animus is very helpful for me. And I run with models to forward and must pop up fit in my first turn because he was, in next turn he will, I think, kill me a lot of models or maybe most important models in my list. So I pop up fit. So he mostly on Hydra to kill her, and he kills some immortals.
Did he use his feet to kill the Hydra?
He used her feet, but he have quite bad rolls against Hydra, and Hydra live with 6 or 7 boxes of that shooting. Of course, I have some shield guards and something like the one shield guard, so one shot was taken by Abidan and so on, but still he have very bad rolls, and Hydra was leaving. After that turn of his shooting, I move with my models, I charge, I kill with my Supreme Guardian, I kill 1 or 2 jacks and almost cripple third one, and some solos I kill with Treasure, of course, and Hydra with these 7 boxes move and spray 2 jacks with killing one hunter and cripple charger. And after that turn, I score a lot of points, and he don't have option to back to the game. Of course, he kill Hydra for points or something like this, but after that he lose on scenario, and we shake our hands. So this game was, of course, this game will be maybe much harder when this Hydra will be dead, but still, this Hydra was important at the beginning of this game. But later, when I have range to his model and I have option to kill them, this Hydra, it wasn't so important.
Becomes less important over the game. Yeah. All right, makes sense. So. Makes sense. And Tomasz, how was your round 2?
So my round 2 is against the same opponent, the Green King guy, Andrea from Italy. And I play Zatarov. I told Andrea that, day 1 was for Agathon, so now I'm playing Zatarov. He plays Old Witch again, because he cannot really play the child with Mat 6 army into Zatarov. And I think Clockatry Spray is really good into Zatarov. You get this +3 defense, and when opponent misses you can Clockatries 3 inches back. But when your heavies are paralyzed, your defense 8, cool. Like they are not going to miss you. So I think from the second turn I decided that my best chance to win this game is to feed him my army, to push for some points, and to go for clock, basically. Like, forget about the attrition. And in the second or third round, Tomek come to me and says that he lost his game against Kruger too. So now, now I need to win this game. And basically, I was getting smashed. Like, he would kill a lot of my models, but he had like one turn when he really wanted to score a point in my right zone, and he would send the first Clockatries. Clockatries would have some bad rolls, then he would send another one, then another one, and at some point the zone was flooded with four Clockatries, almost base to base with each other. So I've sent a snake there. I started punching them just to cripple an aspect or two. He didn't realize what I was doing there, so he didn't stutter as far as possible. He didn't spread. He just stutter outside of my melee range, so I would punch another and I would punch another. Then I would put some cheap damage on them and run a wretch there between all of them. So he couldn't heal those aspects back because of entropic force. And this way, I would force him to have a very long turn. So
slow the game down massively. Yeah.
So in return, he wanted to do some work, but in order to do some work, he would need to check all his aspects, and then this guy, let's say, has mind and spirit, so he can use spray and paralyze everything. So those guys without mind can actually hit my army, and so on and so forth. So that was a very long turn, and after this turn, even though he did a lot of work, and I think I was left with no heavies, so I would have only the one that I spawn each turn. I was getting up on clock, he was getting very low, and around 6th or 7th turn he couldn't play a turn. He would need to just do the necessary things and slap clock back to me, so I could do some work there with my support actually, and I would score 1 point to be 1 point ahead of him, and basically he clocked when I gave him his 7th turn.
Nice. All right. Cool. Well, good work. I mean, that's a legitimate strategy, well implemented. It sounds.
It was the best I could do. Every game of Infernals for me was, I was on the edge of losing, and I needed to figure something out. So,
well, I mean, if you can still win before the full release, then you've got a very good shout when the full release hits. So that sounds great. Cool. So then we come on to the third and, in the end, final round of the team tournament. Pawel, who was your opponent, and how did your game go?
We play against guys from Poland. They call beer lifters.
Okay.
And there was Piotr from my team on WTC. He played here Legion. There was guy Fuzzy. He played with Grimkin, and And still I have, big hole in my memory. Maybe it was beer or maybe I don't know what. No, I'm not drinking a lot there. But I don't remember who was third. But I'm playing against... there was Enkaitar with Harbinger.
Okay.
So the idea was to give the Kriegs against Harbinger and Grimkins against
Why?
Legion. Once again,
If you have the Void Archons and you have such a good game into Harbinger, why did you want to target them with Kriegs?
He have Judicator, so this is something, it's random game because he can roll very good and he can kill with one racket my Void Archon, and he can miss everything and do any important damage. So this is when I see Judicator, I'm not I don't want to play if I have choice, of course. So we choose that Conrad will go and he will try his best, but we know that me and Karol must win our games. And the idea was that me will play against Grimkin and he will play against Legion, but they make some surprise for us because they dodge this, and I play against Legion and Karol play against Grimkins. And our game was... I was second. I really don't remember did I choose or did Piotr choose that he will go first. But I was second. So it was Kalus 1 with spam, of these crows, with some chosen with unit of warmongers, and it was spam, to trying to jam me. There was
Blightbringer and so on. Did he have Golap?
There was Golap and 2 Nerafs in this army. Of course, this guy was...
What the fuck? So he didn't have a Blightbringer?
No, he didn't.
Oh, so he was trying out. Okay, fine. Yep.
So it was army to trying to jam me, but I in this game I show Piotr that that kind of jamming it's not working on Zal. So he go forward, I go forward, but I want to be not in his street range. Next turn he ran into me with many models. I pop up fit, I kill something, he put in Kubus, I kill in Kubus, and so on. After that turn, he don't have so many models. I don't know. I kill everything what ran into me. Next turn, I kill much more, and the game was finished when on the table left only Kalus. And...
So I think what we've learned here is if you want to be the guy with massive testicles and slam them on the table and just be callous, one-manning the whole world, then I'm selling my Legion. So if anyone wants to get in touch, I have Callus 1. He's right here. I'm looking at him, along with all the character war beasts and all the rest of it. So get in touch if you want to buy some Legion. I wouldn't recommend it, though, from a competitive standpoint. But they're quite pretty. And, there's a patch coming. They might not be shit in a while. Who knows? Right. Sadly, I have to leave at this point because I've got a league game coming up. So it's been an absolute pleasure, Pawel. Thank you very much for coming on.
For me too, Simon. Thank you.
And Tomasz, a pleasure as always. I will leave you in charge. I'm sure you can cover the last... the last game's yours anyway. So you can cover your own game. And then I'm sure you'll discuss the EU Masters as well as that. So thank you both very much. Quick reminder to everyone, I'm on twitch.tv, Honest Sai, every Monday to Thursday. Do come and join or get in touch and have a chat. It's always great to see you on there. Guys, it's a pleasure. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
All right, so there's only one game left from the team tournament, but I didn't play it because my opponent was too tired. So I think because the tournament wasn't finished, I think we can move to the EU Masters. For the EU Masters, I decided to take Circle. I wasn't feeling comfortable with Infernals yet, and we knew our round 1 draw, so I would get Kuba with Harbinger. And basically... I'm doomed with Circle, I think, and I'm doomed with Infernals. So if I'm going out, I decided to go out with Circle. Because I wasn't playing a lot of Circle lately. I was playing Infernals. So I kind of find Agathon really similar to Wormwood. Like this playstyle and the spell list is really similar. So I just decided to play Wormwood into into Kuba, so my pair would be Kruger 2 and Wormwood. And I decided if somehow I win the round 1 with Wormwood, I will get like back on the circle, like I will get to know those models again, and so I can play Kruger 2 in the second round. So it's bunkers. There's a building in one of the zones. I won the role to go first. I decided to go first. Kuba stayed on the side where he could hide Harbinger behind this building. And my plan was basically to stranglehold the Archons and to push as aggressively as I can. To start trading for his heavies. He had 4 heavies. Start trading for the heavies, and when the heavies are gone, the rest shouldn't be an issue, but because the rest is just initiates and support, and the Archons would be stranglehold. So my plan was pretty good, I think, and the round 1, I just ran forward as far as possible. I put Wormwood behind the middle line. The next round, I pushed really far again, stranglehold both Archons and Fit, and this is the turn when I basically lost the game because I forgot to leave a heavy. I was so focused on pushing, like pressuring him so hard, I forgot to leave a War Beast in my own zone on bunkers with Wormwood with his feet up. So he couldn't do anything on my fifth turn, and he would score just his zone, and I didn't score my zone. So the advantage I wanted to get from my fifth turn wasn't really there. I just slowed the game down, and from there was a pressure on me to score a point. I managed to kill both monks that were getting close to my zone with combination of Hellmouthing them out of Martyrdom and just killing them. I managed to stranglehold Archons every turn until they died in, I think, 6th turn. But because I lost this CP early, there was a big pressure on me to score enough points. So in the last round of the game, I would just contest everything with everything I've got and hope he cannot score more than me. But because of this pressure, I needed to do a lot of moves, and I was going low on clock. So in the last turn, I was down 1 CP, so I decided to go for an assassination. I went with heavy. I throwed the book so I can cast spells with Wormwood. I ran Cassius, and I cast Hellmouth on some models next to Harby to get some damage on her, and then cast Stranglehold on her. I managed to hit both of those, but didn't do enough damage to kill her. And I lose round 1. So it was single elimination. So rest of the battle reports will be yours, Pawel. And if I remember correctly, you took the same list you've been playing the entire weekend, correct?
Yeah, I took the same. I don't have, first of all, I don't have place in my card to take some additional list, and this is why I take only these 2 lists, so Xerxes 2 and Zal 2. Then, of course, this is spoiler. All 3 games I play with Zal 2, and first game it was against Boutier from Spain. He played with Kador, with Doom Reverse, with Zerkova. Very nice list, very nice. He have some 2 Marauders and 1 Berserker, if I could remember. Of course, these Marauders, it's quite big hard hitters against my Colossal, but they are very slow. And he have 4 units of Doom Reverse. I don't remember the day was all with UA, maybe 3 of them. He have Void Archon, Morrowan Archon, and some solos, if I could remember, and Press Gangers. There was Press Gangers too. So he won the game, but this matchup was, I think, only matchup where I want to be first, because he have very fast army, because of advanced deploy and so on. But he won the role. Of course, he chose to go first. I was second. He ran so far away that only way to not be in his street range that almost stay in my deployment. But I decide to play maybe not aggressively, but smart aggressively, because I put some models to give him for that, I can say. I take my +2 defense and I move, I don't know, maybe in total 10 immortals, 1 from left side and 5 from left side and 5 from right side. Something like that, and I trying to kill something with the spells. Of course, I cannot target Doom River, but I start sending with Annihilation spell on Morrower Archon. I put my Arknot in that range that I will automatically miss. And of course, the first roll was very good because I rolled 4, so the AOE will be back. But second roll it was 6, so I missed. And it was almost similar in second spell. I roll 4 and roll 5 for deviation, so both spells miss. I don't kill nothing. So I move with my Void Archon, I kill one of them, one past staff, I just teleport, and I forgot about these fucking press gangers because I teleport and be in this ambush range, I can say, because I can teleport anywhere, but I just teleport there. So rest of army was safe because I move with Hydra and so on. His next turn was almost in my plan, because only thing what was in my plan that he killed one of my Void Archons with press gangers. So he killed him. He killed some Doom Rivers, but he don't hit everybody because of this +2 defense. He moved army, he put some clouds, and he moved with Zerkova on the middle of table, what was a big surprise for me. So he moved with Zerkova on the middle of table and start on the flag, and he pop up feet. He forgot one thing very important, that my immortal has vengeance, and he forgot about this. So my next turn was, of course, to take souls, change for fury, kill all models what I want to kill with vengeance to clear the way. Next move was to move I think 5 immortals to melee range with Zerkova, and UA additional I have one more from another unit in range, and I start punching her. One of them has no, he hasn't +2 strength because of feet. I cannot shoot, and then I cannot make special action. So all punching her on -2, but all attacks was fully boosted. So I hitting her on 8, and I kill her with my 3rd immortal, I think. And he said that he forgot about.
Did you manage to put the second Void Archon?
No. There wasn't, because I was thinking about, but if I will, I cannot charge, so I can move, I can kill some Doom River, and I can teleport. But then I think there will be problem with put all immortals in melee.
All right.
So I decide, -2 is not so bad. With average roll, it will be around 8 damage per roll. He have only 2 focus, so
it's better to put the number of attacks than the quality of attacks.
In total I have 5 attacks hitting on 8 with damage on -2.
Yeah.
No, 6 in total, 6 attacks, and 1 with UA, so hitting on 10 and -5. So 6 attacks with 7 with 8 and -2. It was fully boosted. It was enough to kill her, because I have Zal have I don't know 11 souls on himself.
Yeah. So you can
after casting Aura of Power. So it was very easy, I can say, caster kill. But from other thing, when he will put Zerkova, I don't know, 1-2 inches back, I will have no opportunity to kill her. But then I have still option to play this game, because after my vengeance move and so on, I think I will kill full of 2 units of Doom Rivers. I will kill press gangers. I will kill one or two Archons, because after Vengeance they will be in my treat range of Immortals. So I think I will kill two of them. So he will have Warjacks on the back of the army and some Doom Reavers, and after that turn I will pop up feet. So still, of course, with charge attack he will kill me, my Immortals, but Berserk, it's not for sure that he will killing my Immortals.
So you basically killed his caster, but you didn't have to go for an assassination.
Yeah, it was very easy, because I don't like play on caster kill. I always like to play, the game. But when I have that kind of caster kill, I'm just doing this because it was very easy.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so let's move to the second round. Who did you got?
Second, it was in Sunday morning. But of course, about pairings we know from the Saturday evening. So I play against Konrad from my team, my very good friend, and from this second game was against Kuba against Kuba. So Harby against Harby. So we was happy that we not fight against them in the second round, because we don't like Harby. And we have very good, very friendly game like always with Konrad. I won on scenario. He playing his Mechanitral spam list, and I was laughing that every game when I'm playing against this list, like killing him, I don't know, twice this army or something like this. In this game, crucial was Void Archon, because of course we was moving, fighting, killing something model by model. I have one turn when I cannot score some point what I was planning, so I score 1 point less for sure, and there was a turn when he trying to kill my Supreme Guardian, but he don't have Pathfinder in this list, so some MC Trials and some of Brutals cannot charge, so he makes some damage, but it wasn't enough. And after that, but of course, if he will kill Supreme Guardian, then the game will be much harder. But still, after this, when we have afterthoughts and we talk how it will be look like, we decide that Hydra will take and she will do her job. So she will clear all the zones and so on. But the game was ended in that way that I need to clear middle zone. I need to clear right circle zone, and I'm just doing this because I kill models with a lot of models with Void Archon, because I was charged, I kill somebody, I was teleport, kill another, I spray, I kill with spray for Mechanitral. So if I could remember, only Void Archon kill 6 models. Supreme Guardian shooting, not treasure, so he killed 1 MC Trial and 1 Stitch Trial with shooting, and there was 2 models killed by Hydra and one by Ancestral Guardian, and I cleared the zone and won the game, because Konrad don't score any points in this game. He was planning to start scoring because his Soul Hunter ran around the table, and in this turn, when I was winning the game, he was on the back of my army. So they just moved from his deployment to my deployment. And after that, he planning to kill the objective, to start scoring something. But it was too late, because it was very easy, to, like I said, to clear the zone. And I won 5-0-1 scenario. Very good game, like always with Konrad, and I very like his list, because this MC Trial, first of all, this is very good list, and I like that kind of horde list. Yeah, so it was game. We know that in the second game with Kuba against Kuba, won Kuba with Harbinger, but
yeah, that was funny. Like, no one believed me. Like, people were like, I root for Kuba, but which Kuba? Both are Kuba. The one that's playing Harbinger, but both are playing Harbinger. But the Polish-Norway Kuba, but both Kubas are from Poland, and they live now in Norway, and they live in Oslo. So it was really the ultimate mirror.
Yeah, it was ultimate mirror that I think it's hard to happen again, but it was Kuba from WTC champions, this Norway team. And he won, and we play another game on this in this weekend. It was we both are quite tired. I think Kuba was more tired than me.
Yeah. Kuba had an accident.
Yeah, I know. I was in your room when you was sleeping with Konrad to check him how he's feeling.
So before that game, I just wanted to say that it was the most relaxed finals I've ever seen in my life. So I'm not saying about maybe the whole game, but you were not only playing your game, you were chatting with people around. And what struck me was that I've never seen you so relaxed. Like, even when your clock was running low, I was nervous watching the game because the clock was low, but you were like super relaxed. I've never seen anything like that.
I think that the most this would have biggest impact on me. It was, first of all, very good and very nice opponent. We play a couple times. We like each other with Kuba. It's amazing guy, and I like play against him because he is very competitive. It's challenge to play against him, but still the game is very fair play and very clear. And I don't remember that I have any issues playing against him, that we have some, he's rude or something like this. So we always, I think when we're playing against each other, we even don't call judges. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 times in our life that we because most of think we just agreed, okay, that way, and so on. So maybe this is, and second, I have a lot of people which I know, and it was a very good atmosphere. Of course, thanks to this atmosphere, I lose a couple of my minutes because laughing, talking, and so on. And he makes some kind of, I can say, surprise for me, because he chose that he will play Vindictus and not Harvey.
Yeah, I thought this is the real reason. Like, you can say that you were relaxed because everything went your way. Like, when you needed some good rolls, you got them. When you didn't really need them, you didn't need them, so you didn't care.
Yeah.
Kuba was maybe a bit more stressed because he had some bad luck at the end of the game. But really, when you get the information in the pairing process, you're not going to play Harbinger. It's like, hell yeah, I might actually enjoy my game now.
Yeah. But of course, this is not that. Of course, Harvey is, in my opinion, better than Vindictus, but it was something different. It was most important, because when I see Harvey, I think, what the fuck, I don't want to play against her. But I think many opponents have the same feelings about Zal too. But so I understand this.
To be honest, I don't like to play both, but I prefer to play into Zal 2 than Harbinger, because against Zal 2, at least there's some action, there's some killing, there's some dice rolling. The game is fun. Against Harbinger, it's not really fun. She even if you play better, she can steal a win from you sometimes, just by rolling 1 on Martyrdom, on this last initiate in your zone, or something like this. So
yeah, that's true. That I fully agree, because against Zal, sometimes good rolls will give you winning. But against Harvey, if you don't have any tech against her, so good caster kill, or I don't know, like entropic force or something like this, you don't have game. You just, it depends how many your opponent roll on Martyrdom. This is most important. Yeah, but if we back to game, it was Vindictus. We play Recon 2. And I see how Kuba put his forces on the table, and in which way he start moving. So I decided to start moving in a little bit in different side. I just decided to contesting his flag and keep the zone, to putting some models to this zone, and start and trying to do something on the right zone. I don't remember how the scoring was looking, but my Hydra was always prepared to move to the zone and to kill something. So he keep his Jack out of my Hydra. I keep my Hydra out of his Jacks. Of course, when he moved, he was starting, if I could remember. He moved forward. I moved forward. He popped his feet and move some
No, you fit first in this game. I think Kuba pushed into you, and then he decided to actually not fit and backed off with the rest of your army. He didn't activate. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's right. He charged me. He started punching me. I killed something, and so on. I pop up my feet. He pop his feet, and it was something like chess. So in this way, because he trying to make position to strike back. He starts calling, of course, first. Game was very long because it was finished in seventh turn, if I could remember.
In your sixth turn, you were the second player, and in your sixth turn.
Okay, so in my sixth turn, yeah, that's right. We was very close on scenario. We was killing model by model. Of course, he put this spell. What I don't remember how it called that. If I kill him, I will get damage.
Yeah, it's an upkeep on a unit, and if you kill a model from this unit, you get 1 damage. So it's
I don't remember this name. So it's very important spell against my vengeance, because I cannot kill models with vengeance with my immortals. But I'm trying to do this with, for example, with Hacker or with UA from the immortal, because he have 5 boxes. So I just move and kill something. So after, I don't know, two turns, he lost almost every of his Idrians. I kill his monk with my immortal, so I clear the flag area, and he put me some very hard models to the zone. But there was one turn where I have quite good rolls, and I clear the zone and start scoring very serious, I can say. And next turn I kill objective. It was, I think, 4th turn or 5th turn. I think it was 5th turn. There was in some turns, of course, he trying to kill my Archons. He set on fire, but my Archons don't want to. I don't roll 1 or 2, so I still have continuous effect. But he cannot roll nothing then more than 5 or 6, so he almost don't deal me any damage. On that,
I was doing battle reports of this game in War Machine and Hordes General Facebook group. You're welcome to find it if you want. And I would do commentary what's going on. So I would take a picture of a turn, and then I would comment like, this guy activates. And when Kuba was rolling fire damage on the Archon, there was always a comment, Kuba screams. Because the rolls were pretty okay, but when he rolled for Void Archon, his dice went super cold. Yeah, like 1-1-2, 1-2, 1-1-2, 1-1-1. It was horrible.
Yeah, it's true. I saw this. Those report what you're telling. So I can. All the game was, he strike, I strike. He strike, I strike. We killing models each other and keep most crucial models out of threat range of Jax, or he keep Jax out of threat range of Hydra, and so on. But there was situation when I kill many models who can contesting my zone. He left only 1 or 2 initiates, and I think that's it. And I have there 1.5 minute on my clock. And I saw that I can charge with my Supreme Guardian into Jack, make Thresher. And of course, when I charge into Jack, I will have in my threat range, in my melee range, I will have Vindictus. Only thing what I must do to just move and kill 1 Chore member and just kill Immortal each others to give, 2 souls for my Supreme Guardian. I just charge. I just charge this Jack and I make Thresher. I hit Vindictus. I buy in Vindictus. I think second or third attack kill his Warcaster. And like I reading your report on Facebook, there was 15 seconds on the clock when I roll and kill Vindictus, if I could remember.
That's correct.
In my opinion, it was very good final, very good atmosphere, and very I hope so. Very good level of gaming. Of course, we make some mistakes because it was finals. There was run of time, out of time, and I'm for sure we make some mistakes. Of course, if we're talking about strategy, about position on the table, but overall, in my opinion, it was very good, and I'm happy that both games in this weekend against Cuba was won by me.
Yeah, good job, man. Winning twice against the world champion. I was watching this game and I think Kuba even foresaw the assassination. In his turn, he said, like, if he wants to contest your zone, he needs to cast True Path. And if he do it, he will be empty on focus. And he saw that he is in the range of your models. He thought that you are going to kill him with Void Archon, but that doesn't make a big difference. Right, both of those models probably kill Vindictus if he's camping none. So yeah, but it was very close. I was doing the battle report, but I must say I was probably more stressed than you. I was like, the tension was really high, but at the same time, the game was very enjoyable, and I really enjoyed myself just watching you two to play. It's a high-level war machine, and I don't think there is a single game played anywhere in War Machine where player don't make any mistakes. Like, mistakes always happen in this game. Like, that's part of it. You can't play perfect game on clock. If there was no clock, maybe you could play, but with clock, it's probably impossible.
Yeah, I think so. I agree fully.
Yeah, so congrats, Pawel, again for the third time or fourth time. I don't know. But
thank you very much, Tomek.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that Pawel won the EU Masters for the second time. So how do you feel as a European champion for the second time?
Oh, it was of course a big honor for me and big pleasure, because I play against people I like them, and it was very good weekend. And after this, honestly, when we was driving on this event, we just planning to one team tournament. It was our plan, but we wasn't have any plans against on this EU Masters. So just I decide to play the best I can, and of course game by game I was more. Like you said, that you want more game by game. If I won first one, if I won second one, there was final. So I decided to play the best I can. But of course, when I'm playing against Cuba, I want to be all clear and all fair play. So it was even most important for me than win the game.
Yeah, if you play against anyone else, you don't want to be clear and fair play, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about clear. Yeah, good catch. I'm not talking about clear like you're talking about cheating or something like this, but I'm talking about...
respect. I understand.
Respect, give, if somebody want to change something or fix something, just do it, not catch somebody that, okay, you make mistake, so you cannot do this now, you cannot, back with this move because you do something different, so you will lose the game because you forgot something.
Of course.
So this is for me clear game, fair play, clear.
Yeah, I gotcha. Like giving a take backs in the final.
Yeah, but when you say about this, then I must explain what I'm thinking about.
Of course, Pawel, of course. So I think that the longer we play War Machine, the more excited we are about team tournaments. You said that in a car, that was your goal. And I must say, I'm always, since the first time I've played in WTC, now I'm more looking towards team tournaments than solo tournaments. And I don't know where this is coming from. It might be from the fact that you're sharing the experience with your friends. Also, by the fact
happiness with your friends.
Yeah, but
when you're winning, additional when we talk with Konrad, we said that we can play every master in Poland. It can be team tournament, because for us it's big pleasure to play something like this. There is some strategic, and additional there is option to dodge some very bad matchups. And for example, like we talk about this Harbinger or even Zal 2, some of people have no answer for that. But on team tournament, it always is chance that you will dodge and you will place against something different.
Exactly. That was...
and you will and still your team will win the game. So this is very, very nice in this team tournament.
Yeah, this is what I was going for. Like when you can dodge the one matchup that you cannot really play, and the play experience will be just negative. Like if you are going to a slaughter and you have very little means to win the game, and maybe you can win the game, but it costs you so much mental energy and stress and power that the game becomes just really not really enjoyable. I think that's a huge plus on those team tournaments, just the option to dodge those matchups. So yeah, cool. I think that's a wrap. We can close the episode. Thank you, Pawel, for coming to the show.
Thank you for the invitation.
Of course. And on that note, I would like to say thank you for listening to this episode. And thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. We just started Patreon. You can find us on Patreon/Boosted Rolls. That doesn't mean that any of our episode is going to be hidden by any paywall, but that just helps us to find more excuses to put more time towards podcasting, towards War Machine, to maybe in the future attend more tournaments and conventions. So again, thank you and see you. Bye.